Hi, my name is Sean Smith. I'm a co-principal investigator for the CIDDL Center. Yes, Hot Take, folks, is thinking about the beginning of the school year. Many of us are well into it. Some of us are just getting started. But the reality is we know pre-K through 12, as well as higher education, but we're going to focus in on pre-K through 12 today. The reality is that we're teaching in a virtual, fully online, hybrid, and the list of words goes on in respect to the use of digital or online learning for our students. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, well, no, Sean, that was COVID, and we're beyond that. But the reality is, and many of us know, is the fact that today, due to a variety of different reasons, everything from teacher shortages, where we're having to place students into their online learning, even though they're in person, because of the fact that we don't have enough educators, to the fact that on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the building of and increasing of fully online options for schools because one, families are selecting that post-COVID, they've stayed or they're returning back to, as well as schools have created infrastructures and building it, folks will come. And so because of that, we have a continuum of spectrum of choices that are in person, where they're doing hybrid learning, they're at home doing fully online learning and everything in between. And because of that, of course, that means we need to think a little differently about how we instruct. And the reality, folks, is that we know in special education for individuals with disabilities, prior to COVID, our online programs that we're serving hundreds of thousands of students across the country. In states like Michigan and Florida, they were requiring an online class before they graduate. This is pre-COVID. And we know pre-COVID as well as post-COVID, families of individuals with disabilities will actually select online learning as an option because of everything from bullying of their child, the services they were not receiving, the realities of who their child is, and the fact that being at home may be a better place for them, but they still need to learn. So those realities mean that more and more individuals with disabilities might be even a higher percentage in our fully online or our hybrid programs than in our in-person face-to-face. And therefore, of course, special educators or educators in general need to be prepared to serve them. So we have a number of different resources. I'll start off with the fact that several years ago, we collaborated with the CIDDL Center. And for those unfamiliar with that, that is a U.S. Department of Education funded center to really direct states across the country. I think about half the states are being directed by CIDDL and their teacher education efforts for special education. So we collaborated with them in a series that has lots of information. And so hopefully this was helpful, and have a good rest of the day.